Class. May I know who all are joining the call today?
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from College Station, Texas. And I wish Shama Gauri Mataji very happy Krishna conscious birthday. Thank you, Shama Gauri Mataji, for all your services for Srimad Bhagavatam class. And please forgive me for not wishing yesterday. Her birthday was yesterday. I request everyone, please wish her happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Happy birthday, Shama Gauri Mataji. Hope you come on video.
Happy Krishna conscious birthday, Shamgauri Mataji. Thank you so much for all your services. Bhakti Japa.
Sing for Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Sorry.
Happy birthday.
I was there, but I was little away. Hare Krishna.
Happy Krishna conscious birthday, belated birthday.
Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Purna Mataji.
Hare Krishna
Mataji, happy birthday, happy Krishna conscious birthday, Mataji.
Happy birthday.
Thank you so much, all the devotees, for your blessings, your prayers, and wishes. Thank you so much.
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.
Thank you everyone for wishing Shamagauri Mataji. We'll continue with the greeting. Hare Krishna. Sorry to interrupt anyone.
Hare Krishna. That
Hare
was
Krishna.
Pranam Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Welcome to the call. Thank you, Mataji, for letting us know the sweet news. We all wish, thank you so much for this news, Shamagori Mataji. Wish you a very, very happy Krishna conscious birthday, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all the devotees. Hare Krishna. This is
Hare Krishna.
Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Kamadiki Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण भगवती वसुधा माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीति दासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Pooja Arora from Haridwar. Happy Krishna conscious birthday, Shama Gauri Mataji. Thank you so much for your all wonderful services. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Puja Arora Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumar Devi from Bali.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Assembly devotee. This is Mohi Lakshmi from Detroit, and happy Krishna conscious birthday, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna.
Vasudha. Go ahead. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Vrinda, Hari Hari, Gauranga.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna.
Happy Krishna conscious birthday, HG Shama Gauri Gopi. Hari Bol. Thank you for your association.
Thank you, Vrinda Gopika Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Valli from Naperville, Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Valli Mataji, Dandavas Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Mataji, for joining Bhakti Sangha conference call. Hare Krishna. Okay, I welcome all of you once again. Thank you everyone for joining today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are really fortunate to have Her Grace Medhavini Sakhi Mataji to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam verse 7.2.1. Before I hand over the call to Mataji, I would like to hand over the call to Tiffany Mataji for the brief introduction on Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Happy Krishna conscious birthday, Shamagori Mataji. Thank you for all that you do. And and Hare,
Happy Tiffany Mataji.
you're so welcome. You're so welcome. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept all my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This morning, we are so very fortunate to have with us Her Grace Medhavini Sakhi Mataji. Mataji is a disciple of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Mataji received Harinam initiation in 2004 in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and Brahminical initiation in Chennai in 2019. She is a chartered accountant by profession and has worked with leading multinational companies. Originally from Chennai, Tamil Nadu, Mataji is currently residing in Mumbai with her husband, His Grace Harinam Krishna Das, and their 2 daughters. They are connected with Radha Giridhari Mandir, Mira Road, Radha Gopinath Mandir, and Jagannath Center in Thane. She serves as a coordinator, a host, and she manages the Jayapataka Swami Sishya Samuha Mumbai programs and transcription proofreading of Maharaj's lectures. Other services during the COVID lockdown included conducting daily online Brahma Muhurta Japa sessions, organizing an international online quiz challenge based on Srila Prabhupada's Lilamrita in celebration of Srila Prabhupada's 125th anniversary, and taking online classes based on Srimad Bhagavatam. So happy to have you on the call, Mataji. Thank you for giving us your association. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, thank you so much. Thank you, Bhagavati Vasudha Mataji. Wishing Shamagori Mataji a very, very, very happy Krishna conscious birthday. Thank you all for giving me an opportunity to speak something from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we can start. Mataji.
Mataji, you can start, Mataji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you so much for your valuable time and association in this call. We are really fortunate to have you in this call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijanna Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodhanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav Jaya Radha Madhav, Jai Shri Radha Madhav, Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Gurudev Gurudev Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Namo Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Stotra Sadash Divine Grace Abhi Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavavrind ki jai, Ananta Koti Acharya Vrind ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gop Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki jai, Mathura Dham ki jai, Vrindavan Dham ki jai, Mayapur Navdeep Dham ki jai, Purushottama Kshetra Shri Jagannath Puri Dham ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnavavrind ki jai. सामेद भक्तवृंद की जय, कलियुग पतित पावन हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय, कार्तिक मंत्र की जय, दीपदान महामहोत्सव की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद श्रील गुरुदेव की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udhirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtake Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Namo Pankajanaභaya Namo Pankajamaline Namo Pankajanetraya Namaste Pankajangraye. Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Deva Deva Jagatpate Nanyam Dvadabhayam Pashe Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhaktanam Abhayankara Tvameko Dayamananam Apavargosi Samshrute. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So Hare Krishna, Mataji, I just wanted to sing a song before we start with the verse, if it's okay. I can see that the screen is shared. So with your kind permission, because today's verse is going to deal with the contrast between Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj. So we're going to talk essentially about demonic qualities and divine qualities. I thought it is Kartik month. Even if there are apparently qualities which are not very divine in the Supreme Personality of Godhead, such qualities are also glorified, and the Supreme Lord is glorified even on account of those qualities which are generally not considered divine. Right? So we'll sing this beautiful song which is going to describe Lord Shri Krishna as the butter thief. Right? Generally, thieves are not respected. Right? People don't like to associate with thieves because it is not a very good noble profession to be in. Right? So everyone ridicules or punishes or try to give to the police a thief. Right? But there's only one thief in this entire world, in the entire universe, who's glorified because he steals, not because he steals for sense gratification, but he steals to give pleasure to his devotees. He steals to fulfill the desires of his devotees. So I would request if Mataji can share Vraje Prasidham Navanita Choram. So we are going to glorify the butter thief today. So this song especially is sung in this month of Kartik Damodar and in important months like Purushottam Adhika Mas, like that, because run chore, right? When Krishna runs away from the battlefield, he is again glorified. Whereas anybody else with the same quality is ridiculed. Oh, he's running away from the battlefield. He's a coward. Or, oh, he's a thief, right? He cannot make his own living. He cannot adopt a moral, standard of life. So he's stealing like that. But when it comes to Lord Sri Krishna, he's on the absolute platform. So as we are discussing the divine qualities and the demonic qualities, we should understand the Lord is transcendental to all of this. And it is according to what the Lord gives as rules that we are going to discuss today, based on chapter 16. What are the divine qualities? What are the demonic qualities given by Lord Sri Krishna himself in chapter number 16, the divine and demonic nature. And also we'll go through some verses from chapter 6, how we can develop divine qualities and what is it that is preventing us from giving up the demonic qualities and taking up to the divine qualities. So that is the distinction between Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad Maharaj. So we all want to adopt the qualities or acquire the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj and diminish the qualities that we already have of Hiranyakashipu. So, but first and foremost, before trying to understand what are the divine qualities and how we will develop that, we will sing this beautiful song, knowing very well that Krishna is supremely transcendental. Whatever the Lord performs, that is to give pleasure to his devotees, and whether or not his running away from the battlefield or his thievery, his stealing, all of it is worthy of glory. Navanita Choram ki jai. Raje prasidham Navanita Choram Gopangananam Chadukula Choram Aneka Janmarjita Papa Choram Chauragraganyam Purusham Namami Shri Radhikaya Hridayasya Chauram Navambuddha Shamala Kanti Chauram Padashritanam Cha Samasta Chauram Chauragraganyam Purusham Namami Akinchani Kritya Padashritam Yaha Karoti Bhikshum Pati Gehahinam Kenapyaho Bhishana Chaurayedre Drishta Shruto Vana Jagatraepi Yadiyanamapi Haratya Shesham Giri Prasaranapi Paparashi Ascharya Rupo Nano Chaurayedre Drishta Shruto Vana Maya Kadapi Danam Cha Manam Cha Tatindriyani Pranam Cha Hritva Mama Sarvameva Palaya Se Kutra Dritodya Chaura Tvam Bhakti Dhamna Sri Maya Nirudha Chinnatsi Goram Mama Pasha Bandam Vinnatsi Bhimam Bhava Pasha Bandam Chinnatsi Goram Yama Pasha Bandam Vinnatsi Bhimam Bhava Pasha Bandam Chinnatsi Sarvasya Samasta Bandam Naivatmano Bhakta Kritam Tu Bandam Manmanase Tamasi Rashi Gore Paragrihe Dukhe Maye Nibodha Lavasvahe Chaura Hare Chiraya Svachaurya Dosho Chitameva Dandam Karagrahe Vasa Sada Hridaye Madiye Madbhakti Pasha Dridavandana Nischalasan Tvam Krishna He Pralaya Koti Shatantarepi Sarvasva Chaura Hridayan Nahi Muchayami. Hare Krishna. So in a sense, the song is talking about, of course, it's a song in glorification of the butter thief. The song is written by Bilva Mangal Thakur. Bilva Mangal Thakur, finally he is saying that I want to imprison you in my heart, which is like a karagraha, which is like a prison cell, which is full of darkness because of the ignorance, right? And then he says that every last line of this verse glorifies Chaura Graganyam Purusham Namami. I pay my respectful obeisances to the butter thief. So in this way, this is a prayer of Bilva Mangal Thakur. So before we go into our divine and demonic qualities, we can see that, like we mentioned in the beginning of the session, that the Lord is transcendental to all of these. And whatever the Lord prescribes, dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam, whatever the Lord gives as to do's and not to do's, those are our rules and regulations. Those are our criteria for divine and demonic qualities. Yeah. So Mataji, we can start with the verse now. So we'll not have the time to go through the entire translation. So in essence, that is what it is. So ultimately, we want to develop divine qualities so that we want to bind Lord Sri Krishna in our heart, right? We want to imprison Lord Sri Krishna in our heart. We want to cleanse our heart so nicely by developing these divine qualities that all of the anarthas, there is no place for anarthas in our heart. There's no space for lust, anger, greed, pride, and illusion. And then Shri Radha and Krishna, Shri Radha Damodar Bhagavan can eternally reside in our hearts, and we can imprison them in our hearts. So that is the goal of trying to understand what are the divine qualities, how do we develop those divine qualities, and why did Hiranyakashipu react differently for the same incident that took place, while our Prahlad Maharaj responded differently. So today's words, Srimad Bhagavatam 7.2.1. Shri Narada Uvacha Bratari evam vinihate harina kroda murtina hiranyakashipu rajan paryaptad rushachucha. Bratari evam vinihate harina kroda murtina hiranyakashipu rajan paryatapyad rushachucha. Bratari evam vinihate harina kroda murtina Hiranyakashipu rajan paryatapyad rusha shucha. Synonyms by His Divine Grace, Avichanaranda Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Narada Uvacha, Shri Narada Muni said, Bratari, when the brother Hiranyaksha, evam thus, vinihate was killed, harina by Hari, kroda murtina in the form of the boar, Varaha. Hiranyakashipu, Rajan, O king, Paryat Apyat was afflicted, Rusha by anger, Shucha by grief. Translation by Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Narada Muni said, my dear King Yudhishthira, when Lord Vishnu in the form of Varaha, the boar, killed Hiranyaksha, Hiranyaksha's brother Hiranyakashipu was extremely angry and he began to lament. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Yudhishthira had inquired from Narada Muni why Hiranyakashipu was so envious of his own son Prahlad. Narada Muni began narrating the story by explaining how Hiranyakashipu had become a staunch enemy of Lord Vishnu. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namom Vishnu Padhaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Dushe Namaha Panchatattva-atmakam Krishnam Bhakta-rupa Swarupakam Bhakta-avataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakti-shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram Harihi Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So then with pranams to all the devotees. So in today's verse, let's quickly read the verse and the translation. Srinarda Vacha Bratari Evam Vinihate Harina Kroda Murtina Hiranyakashipu Rajan Pariyat Tapyat Prusha Shucha. Narada Muni said, my dear King Yudhishthira, when Lord Vishnu in the form of Varaha the boar killed Hiranyaksha, Hiranyak's brother Hiranyakashipu became extremely angry and began to lament. So this is the first verse of the second chapter. The first chapter, how did it conclude? The first chapter concluded with Yudhishthira Maharaj inquiring from Narada Muni, why was Hiranyakashipu so inimical or against his own son Prahlad Maharaj? So here in the purport, Prabhupada says that Narada Muni, in reply to Yudhishthira Maharaj's query about the animosity of Hiranyakashipu towards Prahlad Maharaj, he is starting first of all with the animosity that Hiranyakashipu has with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Vishnu. Right? So that's how Prabhupada says in the purport. So I was just thinking what we will do here is how we will progress in this discussion is we will speak about what are the divine qualities given in chapter 16, what are the demonic qualities given. I mean, and the rest of the 16th chapter after the third verse talks about the demonic qualities. And then we will also see why Hiranyakashipu responded in a particular way, why did Prahlad respond in a particular way, and what is the role of the mind in all of this, and how we can control our mind, or how we can make our mind the best friend. So that's what will be the flow of today's discussion. Yeah. So we know how Narada Muni is starting to answer this question. But first and foremost, he goes into explaining to Yudhishthira Maharaj why there was animosity between Hiranyakashipu and Lord Vishnu himself. Right? We all know the past time how this Hiranyaksha, he actually puts the earth into the ocean, and Varahadev actually comes to lift the earth from the Garbhodaka ocean, and in this way there is a huge fight that ensues between Lord Vishnu in the form of Varaha and Hiranyaksha. And ultimately, we know that Hiranyaksha, after a big battle, right? We all know. We also read in the previous chapter how Jaya and Vijaya, who are actually the doorkeepers of Lord Vishnu, they being pure devotees of the Lord chose to fight with them. Whenever he wants to enjoy Virya Rasa, he only enjoys Virya Rasa with his devotees. He has nothing to do with non-devotees, right? But even when he wants to enjoy fighting Rasa, he only calls his devotees down. So this pastime happens, how Sanat Kumaras, they curse Jaya and Vijaya, and in this way they come down, and in this way they become an instrument in pleasing the Lord when the Lord wanted to have Virya Rasa. Right, so there was a big battle which went on for many days, and finally the Lord was pleased after fighting with Hiranyaksha, who was very powerful, and then finally the Lord kills Hiranyaksha. And then what happens? Our Hiranyakashipu, who is the brother of Hiranyaksha, he gets to know that Lord Vishnu has come and appeared in the form of Varaha and has killed his brother. He becomes very angry. He becomes very envious. He wants to kill Lord Vishnu some or the other. So what does he do? He causes trouble to all of the devatas. He tries to so he thinks that, if Lord Vishnu himself is killed, then all of his bhaktas, the devatas and all of the other divine souls, they will all lose their roots of their strength, right? Because Krishna is a source of strength for the strong, for the devatas also, and for everybody for that matter. Krishna is a root, or Krishna is a source of the strength. So in this way, he thinks, let me take revenge for the death of my brother. And how did Prahlad Maharaj view the same event? The event is the same, right? If we see from a neutral perspective, without being Hiranyakashipu or Prahlad Maharaj, as a neutral person, when I see what is the event that happened is Lord Vishnu is killing Hiranyaksha, right? And both Hiranyakashipu is also related, and Prahlad Maharaj is also related to Hiranyaksha. One is the nephew and the other is the brother, right? But how did Prahlad Maharaj see the same event? Prahlad Maharaj saw that this demon Hiranyaksha was fortunate to have been killed by Lord Vishnu in the form of Varahadev. That was Prahlad Maharaj's perspective of the same thing. Like His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj always says, right? We see the world with the glasses that we wear, right? It will be the same event that is happening. One person may see something happy in it. One person may see some kind of misery in it. One person may be neutral about it. It's all about the glasses that we wear. That means what is our perspective towards it, right? So when we see from the Shastra Chakshusha, right, then we understand things not according to how we want to understand it, or not according to our mind and our mental speculation and understanding, but we understand according to what the Lord wants us to understand, how the Lord wants us to understand. When we get the Shastra Chakshushu, that means when we hear these pastimes from a bona fide spiritual master, then we will get the right perspective, or we will find the right glasses to view these pastimes, or to see these pastimes, or to understand these pastimes, right? So Prahlad Maharaj's perspective, whether it was the killing of Hiranyaksha, or whether it was his own fathers trying to kill him, right, by throwing him down the mountain, or putting him in a heated oil, or by putting him in a room full of snakes, or whatever he was trying to kill Prahlad Maharaj himself, right? A 5-year-old boy whose only source of shelter is his own father, whom he will look up to give him protection. The same person is actually causing him harm. Yet, what is Prahlad Maharaj's perspective towards Hiranyakashipu? He's having compassion towards him. He's not having any feelings of animosity or lamentation. Oh, my father, why is my father like this? Why I only have to get a father like this, right? There is no self-pity, there is no anxiety, there is no fearfulness, right? Which is very, very normal for any person who's put in this position, right? Why my father alone has to be like this? Look at others. Their fathers are so protective and so caring. My own father, why is he trying to kill me? Why is he trying to poison me? Why is he trying to throw me down a hill? Like that. It is very, very natural for a 5-year-old boy, a small boy, right? But what is Prahlad Maharaj's perspective or vision towards the entire thing? Prahlad Maharaj was being compassionate. In fact, when Narsinghadev appeared and killed Hiranyakashipu and asked Prahlad for a benediction, Prahlad said, I don't want any benediction, right? Oh Lord, my only desire is to serve you eternally. And then the Lord insisted, I want you to ask for a benediction. And then he says, please deliver my father, whatever he did. For whatever he did, I know he did demonic acts, right? But please forgive him. And then Narsinghadev tells him that 21 generations are already liberated, 7 + 7 + 7. So in this way, that is the mood of Prahlad Maharaj, the mood of compassion. That is a divine quality, right? So the situation may be the same. The situation may be of suffering, or it may be of happiness. Whatever be the situation, a devotee sees it as a devotee sees the hand of Lord in whatever circumstances may happen, whether it is a situation of happiness or distress, right? Sitoshna, Sukha, Dukkha. Doesn't matter, heat or cold, happiness or distress. A devotee sees Lord's hand in it. Without the permission of the Lord, not a blade of grass moves, right? If I have to get a lot of suffering, then if the Lord sanctions it, then a devotee accepts such suffering also as the as the mercy of the Lord. Right? Tattenu kampam susamikshamaну bunjana evatma kritam vipakam hridvad vapurvir vedadhan namaste jive taye mukti padesa dayabak. Right? Whatever suffering a devotee might get, what is the attitude of a devotee? A devotee thinks, oh, for my sinful actions that I've committed in the past, I should be getting much more sinful reactions. But Lord Sri Krishna is so merciful. In this way, Lord Krishna is just giving me a token of what I should be actually getting in terms of sinful reactions. So that is the attitude of a devotee. Accepting any situation with a grateful heart. Right? And what happens? What is the result of such a devotee maintaining such an attitude? Bunjana evatma kritam vipakam. Kritam means kritagyata. Kritagyata means with a grateful heart. Hridvad vapurbir vidadha namaste. And offering obeisance to the Lord and thanking the Lord that you've actually reduced my mountain-like suffering that I have to get. You have made it into a molehill. Right? Hridvad vapurvir vidadha namaste jive taye mukti padesa dayabak. Such a devotee who is with such a grateful heart and undergoing all kinds of trials and tribulations and suffering, but the grateful heart always offers obeisance to the Lord and pay praise to the Lord. Such a person experiences mukti. What is mukti? Mukti hitvan yatharupam swarupena vyavastitihi. Even though situated in any condition, such a person experiences bliss. Such a person is in a liberated condition because such a person is eternally engaged in the service of the Lord. And in this way, every opportunity of suffering or every opportunity of pain can become, every situation of pain or every situation of suffering can become an opportunity to serve the Supreme Lord. And in this way, become dearer to the Lord. Right? We are all reciting this chapter 12 of Bhagavad Gita every day. Right? Wherein I was hearing Nitai Sevni Mataji's class. She was saying the last 8 verses of chapter 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, where Lord Shri Krishna says in the last line, Yemi Bhakta Same Priyaha. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Such a devotee is very dear to me. Those are the qualities that we want to develop, right, in ourselves so that we become closer to Lord Shri Krishna. So that is the purpose. Why do we want to develop divine qualities? Why are we discussing what are demonic qualities that we need to be avoided? What are the divine qualities that we need to develop? Why? Because we need to, we want to become dear to Krishna. So when we want to become dear to somebody, we do things that pleases them. So Krishna has very clearly given the qualities, whether it is in the 16th chapter giving divine and demonic qualities, or in the 12th chapter where Krishna is saying, these are the qualities that if the devotee have, such a devotee will become very dear to me. Right? When Krishna is personally telling all these qualities, and our goal is to love Krishna, to become dear to Krishna. So we need to understand what are those qualities that will help us become dear to Lord Sri Krishna. Right? So now we know what are the qualities to be developed, right? That we will study also, but we know what is divine and demonic. There is not much of a gray area there, right? Divine qualities are qualities that will help us move closer towards Krishna, right? And demonic qualities, we all know in broad terms, you have to say it's lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, illusion. Right? These are all demonic qualities. These leads to all the other qualities, right? It leads to all of our kukrama, right? We can say all of the bad actions that we perform, sinful actions we perform are as a result of all of these, right? These qualities give rise to vikarma actions, right? So why is it that we are not able to develop these qualities? Why? Because we don't have a mind that is controlled. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 6.6, Bandhur atmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitah anatmanastu shatrutve vartetatmaiva shatruvat. That means the first quality of a devotee is that his mind is his best friend, because he's conquered the mind. The mind is the best of his friends. Whereas for a demonic person, the mind is his greatest enemy, because the mind is telling him, oh, you run here, you run there, there is sense gratification here. Oh, there is nice, for the sense objects, right? So whatever are the objects of the senses, each sense object is dragging him here, there, and everywhere. So he becomes so much anxious to enjoy with his eyes, enjoy with the ears, enjoy with the nose, enjoy with the mouth, enjoy with the hand, right? Enjoy all palatable dishes, engage in various sense gratification. So in this way, his mind is his greatest enemy of a demonic person, whereas for a devotee, a mind was one's greatest friend. So we can introspect as we are going through this. How much is our mind our friend? and how much is our mind our enemy. We can introspect as we are going through this. Right? In this particular verses purport, Prabhupada is saying one can control one's mind when one is engaged in devotional service. Right? Prabhupada gives it in every purport actually. Right? The essence of Krishna consciousness is given in every purport by Srila Prabhupada. Right? One of the acharyas was explaining that see, even if we miss, if we don't read at all Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, etc., but somehow we pick up a book and read one chapter of the any of Prabhupada's small books, or we read one verse in translation and purport from the Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam, we will know the essence of what we need to bring into our life so as to perfect our life. Such powerful and such potent are Srila Prabhupada's purports. Right? And then Prabhupada is saying, when we do devotional service, we'll be able to control our mind. And a person who has a controlled mind will be able to see things in the right perspective. Like we said, what are the glasses we wear? Depending on that, we'll be able to take the vision. Right? So what glasses we wear, how we see things, what is our perspective depends on whether we are a devotee or not, of course, and whether we are a devotee or not depends on whether we are able to control our mind. How do we control our mind? Mantrayati iti mantra. By chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, we control our mind, and in this way the mind becomes our friend, and then we are able to see things in the right perspective, and then we are on the path of developing all of the divine qualities. Right? When we practice, right? Practice makes perfect. When the mind is clear and the mind directs the senses to do the right kind of activities, and by doing such right activities in the form of devotional service, what do? We automatically develop divine qualities. Right? There is this verse also, which we will see later, which talks about how simply by performing devotional service, one can get all the wonderful qualities. And in the next verse, 6.7, again Krishna is talking about one who has conquered the mind. For him, he has already attained tranquility. So Krishna says, Jitatmanaha prashantasya paramatma samahitah shitoshna sukha dukkeshu tata mana apamanayoho. Right? One who's conquered the mind, paramatma samahitah. For him, the super soul is already reached. Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, right? Shita means cold, right? Ushna means heat. Sukha means happiness. Dukkha means misery, right? Dukkha means misery, right? Distress, right? Tatha mana apamanayo, right? Mana means honor. Apamana means dishonor, right? For a person who is sober, right? Even the verse in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita is talking about that. Sitoshna Sukha Dukkada. Agama painu anitya stam sitikshashva bharata. Matra sparshast kaunteya sito ushna sukha dukkada. Agama painu anitya stam sitikshashva bharata. Right? So, such a sober person is a devotee. Why? Because all of these situations, such as happiness and distress, right, heat and cold, honor and dishonor, are definitely going to create anxiety in the mind of a demon, or anxiety in the mind of a non-devotee. Right? A non-devotee need not be a demon. But all demons are non-devotees, right? That much we can say. Because a non-devotee may be somebody who is innocent, right? So such are the people whom we want to preach to, so that we may make them devotees, right? But somebody who is envious is definitely demoniac, right? Such a person has decided, I don't want to be devoted to the Lord, I don't want to worship the Lord. So such people are clearly atheistic, are clearly envious of the Lord, and hence we are demoniac like that. Okay, so next verse also, Prabhupada in the purport talks about Jnana and Vijnana. Very wonderful verse, right? This gives clearly the distinction between why Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad reacted differently to the same situation. While both of them are learned, Hiranyakashipu was an expert. He used to study the scriptures very nicely. Right? And Prahlad Maharaj, of course, in his mother's womb itself, he got the entire transcendental knowledge from Narada Muni, right? Both are very well learned. However, what is the difference? Jnana Vijnana Triptatma Kutasto Vichitendriyaha Yukta iti Yuchate Yogi Sama Loshtrashma Kanchanaha. Jnana and Vijnana, that is the difference. Jnana means it is there in the head. I have all the knowledge in my head, but I don't know how to apply it in my life. Vijnana means it's realized knowledge. That means I know what I know in my head because of my study of the scriptures. I'm going to apply it in my life. Right? Prabhupada's purports actually most of the time help us to actually translate what is given theoretically in the Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam to put it practically into our lives. Right? So the jnana becomes vijnana when we follow a bona fide spiritual master, when we read Srila Prabhupada's books, when we hear from bona fide authority, then we know the practical implementation of what we study in the scriptures. That is vijnana. So Prahlad Maharaj had that vijnana. That is why he put into the same condition of suffering. Right? Even he was suffering from the hands of his own father, and Hiranyakashipu also was suffering because his own brother was killed. Right? Both of them are suffering. But what is the change in the vision? Right? The change in vision is Prahlad Maharaj is feeling compassion to the person who is putting him into suffering, and he wants to deliver that person also. That is the quality of a devotee. Why? Because he is self-realized. He knows that I am not this body. Right? Whereas our Hiranyakashipu, very well learned. It is said that Hiranyakashipu actually told his mother Diti and his sister-in-law, the wife of Hiranyaksha, the entire Gyan, Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yovanam jara tata dehantara prapte dhirastatra namuyati. The body is not it, right? For a Kshatriya to fight and win against, the fight and die in a battle is so honorable. All that jnana he was giving, right? The jnana is only to give others, right? When you don't have it self-realized, when it's not come down, percolate to the heart and become transformed into vijnana, then it becomes very, very nicely spoken, right? So he tells Hiranyaksha's wife and his mother and his own mother Diti that don't worry about Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha, he died in a battle, so that is really honorable. There is nothing to worry or lament about it. Whereas in his own heart, he was burning with anger and envy, and he wanted to take revenge. Right? So that is the difference between jnana and vijnana. Jnana means only lip service. We don't have any kind of understanding in our heart, and we don't apply anything in our life. Whereas vijnana is what Prahlad Maharaj is demonstrating. In all situations, if I surrender to the Lord and take everything as a blessing of the Lord, then I have really understood the purport of the Vedic knowledge. All right. So, and then in this verse from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Rupa Goswami very nicely says, right? When do we get vijnana? Right? Ata Shri Krishna Namadi na bhaved grahyam indriyahi. Right? Simply by our own study. Hiranyakashipu did that. Did he get vijnana? No. Right? He had all the knowledge, but he did not practically apply it at all because he did not have the vijnana. Right? How does it come? Sevon mukehi jivvada swayameva suratyadaha. The Lord only has to reveal himself to us. And in that way, we will get the understanding of what to do, what not to do. Right? And we know the practical application of what jnana we have received from a bona fide spiritual master. If it has to become vijnana, it has to happen only by the blessings and mercy of Guru and Gauranga. Only then the truth can be revealed to us in our heart. Right? Also in 10.11, also Krishna says the same thing. Aham ajnana jam tamaha nashayami atma bhavastum jnana deepena bhashvataha. So this ignorance that is filled in our heart, because of which we have all these demonic tendencies, if they all have to be removed, we have to simply engage in devotional service, and the Lord being pleased with us by the blessings of all the Vaishnavas, our Siksha Gurus and our Diksha Guru, right? By the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and all of our Gurus, what happens? Our heart gets cleansed, and more the heart gets cleansed, the demonic propensities go down and the divine qualities go up. Right? Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarver gunais tatra samasateshwara. Right? The more we engage in devotional service, we will get all the divine qualities of the suras or the devatas. Right? Sarver gunais tatra, all of the good qualities of the demigods will come into a person who is engaging in yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana. Akinchana means not holding on to our material things and holding on to Krishna also. We cannot hold on to both. Right? Just like when the ship is anchored, right? Or the boat is anchored, as much you may keep rowing the boat, but the boat will not move an inch. Right? You have to remove the anchor. So we have to remove our dependence on material nature, remove our dependence on Maya, and completely surrender to Krishna. Remove our self-dependence, right? And even in the case of Draupadi also we say, right? Draupadi was an embodiment of surrender to the Lord, right? In circumstances which was so much causing her suffering, right? She tried her best, and then what did she do? She completely surrendered to the Lord, right? She did not curse. She did not, of course, she tried her best, right? That's what we should do in devotional service also, right? When we know that something is out of our control, then we know that what is out of my control is within the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. So there is no need for me to be in anxiety. I simply need to surrender to the Lord, right? And a person is said to be established in self-realization when he is able to exhibit, or when he is able to surrender completely, right? Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. This is an important quality of a devotee. And this kind of sharanagati or surrender can never be exhibited by a demonic person, because he wants entire controllership in his hands. So that's what Hiranyakashipu wanted. He wanted to become the controller of all the three worlds. He wanted to surpass death. He wanted to conquer death. He did not want to accept Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvalokam Maheshwaram Suhradam Sarvabhutanam Nyatva Mam Shanti Mrichati. He didn't want to accept that Krishna is the supreme controller, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, and Krishna is the supreme owner of everything. He did not want to accept that. So, and the other difference is a devotee accepts the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the supreme controller, enjoyer, and owner. And he accepts himself as the servant of such a Supreme Personality of Godhead. And such a servant is never in anxiety, because he does his best and then he gives it for the pleasure of the Lord. So he is not bothered about whether it is successful, what is the result. He is not bothered about it. And hence, Brahmabhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati. So this verse, when it starts with how Hiranyakashipu is both shochati and kankshati, right? He is both lamenting as well as he is very much in grief. Whereas a devotee is neither in lamentation nor in grief all the time because of his surrenderance to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is the next quality. Okay, we are already at 5:40. Okay, we'll try to finish in 10 minutes. Maybe we'll not be able to go through all the 26 qualities, divine qualities, but we'll just touch upon important qualities. Right? We can go through the 16.1 to 16.3. It gives us the 26 qualities that we need to develop, those divine qualities. Right? It also says, Trinadapi Shunichena Taroriva Sahishnuna Amanina Manadina Kirtaniya Sadahari. When we develop all these divine qualities, then we'll be able to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra more and more. And in this way, we'll be able to do Kirtaniya Sadahari. And then, when we do Kirtaniya Sadahari with discipline and endeavor and with determination, then all of these good qualities automatically develop. So it works both ways. It is quid pro quo, right? Yasyasti Bhakti Bhagavati Akinchana Sarve Gune Satra Samasati Sura and Tranadapi Shunichena Taroriva Sahishnuna. Both of these verses are corollaries, right? What does it say? If you develop all the divine qualities, you'll be able to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra very nicely and continuously. And when you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra continuously and nicely all the time in all circumstances, automatically the qualities will develop. But we have to endeavor for both. We have to endeavor that we develop the divine qualities, and we endeavor to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra also. And it works both ways. And then in this way, we will advance in devotional service. Right? So we'll quickly recite these three verses and then we will just go through the synonyms. What are the qualities? We'll not go into the details of what those qualities are, but we will just name them, right? Mostly English transliteration. We will all be able to understand what the quality means. Yeah. And for details, we can read the purport. Prabhupada explains each quality in very, very great detail in the purport. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Dhanam Dhamascha Yajnascha Swadhyayastapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas Tyagaha Shantir Apaishunam Dayabhutesh Alolutvam Mardavam Rir Achapalam Tejaha Kshamadriti Shaucham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivim Abhijatasya Bharata. So what are those 26 qualities? Fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity. Austerity here refers to austerity that's prescribed in the Vedas, right? We don't do according to our own mental concoction. To satisfy some objective, people go and fast. They do this, hartal in front of the chief minister's house, right? Mahange puri karo, like that, right? So in order to get some kind of sense gratification, also people do these kind of fasts, But that is not what we are prescribing. That's not what is mentioned here. Austerity means to take up voluntary discomfort as is prescribed in the Shastras for the pleasure of the Lord. Right? Why it gives pleasure to the Lord? The Lord is not sadistic. That when you do austerity, it pleases the Lord. Why does it give pleasure to the Lord? It gives pleasure to the Lord because such kind of austerity helps us gain control over our mind. It helps us perform devotional service. It helps us remember Krishna always. It helps us never forget Krishna. Right? So all of these months, in the Kartik month, right, we get 100 times benefit of all of the austerities that we perform. Right? For us, chanting Hare Krishna 16 rounds is an austerity. Why? Because we still not got, at least for myself, I can say, I've still not developed the taste for chanting Hare Krishna. That I can say, like Rupa Goswami, I want millions of mouths and ears to chant Hare Krishna. So it's no longer an austerity. No, we are still sadhaka bhaktas. It is an austerity. We want to chant 25 rounds, 30 rounds, 32 rounds, 64 rounds in the Kartik month, on Ekadashis, etc. We are doing austerity, right? On Ekadashis, we fast from beans and grains, right? That is an austerity which is prescribed in the Shastras. So why do we perform all these austerities? To give pleasure to the Lord. All of these qualities. Charity, why is it a divine quality? Because when we give charity, right, with the hard-earned money, then what happens? It helps us develop detachment. It helps us come out of aham mameti. It helps us to come out of selfishness. Right? All of these qualities help us come closer to Krishna. That is why it is mentioned here. Right? Simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Kunti, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with the divine nature. So these are the qualities that we have to gradually develop in us. Right? When we develop these qualities, automatically the demonic qualities will go down. There is this one verse, we'll just go through this. The rest of the chapter is actually an explanation of this, how these demonic qualities manifest into several actions, right? The rest of the chapter, we can read that later, but we'll quickly go through these demonic qualities, right? Dambo, Dharpo, Abhimanascha, Krodha, Parushamevacha, Ajnanam, Chabijatasya, Partha, Sampadam, Asurim. Right? 6 qualities are mentioned by Lord Shri Krishna. What are those? Damba. Damba means pride. Dharpa means arrogance. Abhimana means false ego. I am the controller. I am being proud, for something that is not, we don't have any reason to be proud. Right? Whatever we have is by the grace of the Lord. And any time it can be taken away by the Lord. What is the reason why we should be proud? But we are proud, right? We are conceitful. So that is abhimanaha. And then krodhaha, right? Kamesha, krodesha, rajoguna samudbhava. Right? All of these qualities manifest in those who are predominantly rajasic and tamasic. Right? Krodhaha, anger, parushyam, harshness of speech. Right? And then ajnanam, ignorance. And lastly, it is these are the sampadam asurim. Sampadam asurim means these are the qualities of those who are demonic in nature. So what are the 6 qualities of a demonic person? Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. Right? Damba, Dharpa, Abhimana, Krodha, Parushyam, Ajnanam, and what is that? Ajnanam. Okay, what is that? Damba, Dharpa, Abhimana, Krodha, Parushyam, and Ajnanam. Yeah, Parushyam is harshness in speech, and Ajnanam is ignorance. And the rest of the chapter we can read. Now, how these qualities, if we have the root of these qualities in us, then it will prompt us to perform sinful actions. But when we try to develop these divine qualities, and out of these demonic qualities will automatically be wiped out, and in this way we will be able to chant Hare Krishna continuously. We'll be able to please the Lord by using those divine qualities in the service of the Lord. Otherwise, these divine qualities are of no use, right? Hara vibhaktasya kuto mahan guna manoratena sati davato bahihi, right? So these qualities are of no use if you are not devotees of the Lord. But these become the ornaments these become ornaments for a devotee. Why? Because such qualities can be very nicely utilized in the service of the Lord. But harava bhaktisya kuto mahan guna, right? But if a bhakta or a non-devotee has all these wonderful qualities also, it is extremely useless, right? So quickly, if you have to summarize, we saw the contrast between Hiranyakashipu and Prahlad's vision, and we saw why Hiranyakashipu was reacting like that with anger and lamentation and shoka, because he was attached to his body, to his bodily platform, to his relatives, as all in all, he wanted to control everything. Whereas Prahlad Maharaj, he was full of divine qualities, transcendental qualities. He saw everything as a blessing of the Lord. He was compassionate even towards those people who was causing him suffering. And over and above all, he was engaging himself in devotional service. Right? So the moral or the essence what we can take from today's session is devotional service to the Lord is the remedy to all the issues, to all the problems that we may face. Why? Because the Lord is Shuddham and also Apapa Viddham. The Lord is Shuddham because He is pure, He can make us pure. That is why it is said, Akama Sarva Kamova, Moksha Kam Udharadi, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, Yajeta Purusham Param. What we have to do, we simply have to Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. We have to simply, with determination, worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Right? Tivrena Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti is always towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna only. With the rest of the world, it is only a deal. I give you this, you give me this. Right? So, Yajeta Purusham Param. In this way, when you worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, then what happens? Akama Sarva Kamava Mokshakam Udharani. Right? Even if we have desires to enjoy material sense gratification or or even the desire for liberation, all of that will be cleansed of our heart, right? The example which we've discussed several times in the past is that of Dhruva Maharaj, right? How his heart was cleansed of all of the material desires and completely he surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, so how to develop divine qualities? By performing devotional service, we'll develop divine qualities. How to increase our devotional service? By utilizing all these divine qualities that we acquire with the mercy of Guru and Gauranga in the service of the Lord. In this way, we will develop more taste in chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and in this way, more transcendental qualities manifest in us. And in this way, we chant more Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And in this way, until we attain Krishna Prema, it is a gradual but a slow but a sure progress. And to the extent of our surrender to the Lord, the progress can be fast or slow. Right? So it is in our hands how much fast we can go back to Godhead or how much fast we can attain Krishna Prema. It is in our hands. It is in the choices that we make. Right? So we will end here. Thank you all for your patient hearing. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha anantakoti vaishnava vrinda ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Srila Gurudev ki jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
So today I have a session at 6 p.m. So probably if there are any questions, then we can take it for the next 10 minutes. And then, if there are no questions, then it's okay. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for this very, very beautiful class. Yeah, it was very nice, refreshing all the qualities of a Vaishnavas, of a Brahmana. Thank you so much, Mataji, in the flow.
Hare Krishna.
And I request devotees, if you have any questions, you can raise your hands or you can ask now.
Okay, if there are no questions, then either the class was so wonderful that everything was explained extremely well, very crystal clear, or everything has gone over the head. अरे कुछ समझ में नहीं आया, क्या बताया मेधाविनी सखी देवीदास ने, क्या बताया, कुछ समझ में नहीं आया. Right? I hope and pray that it is the first the first instance of it. But I'm sure you all are hearing Bhagavatam every day, so we are all reiterating to ourselves. It's nothing new, but the only problem comes in practicing it, right? We all have jnana, at least for myself, I can say jnana is there, but it has to percolate into becoming big jnana. It has to become a way of life. So that is what it is. So let's pray for each other that jnana becomes big jnana and all of these principles become a way of life for us by the grace of Prabhupada and Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna. Okay, so there is some message in the chat box.
Very nice class, Mataji. Thank you so much once again for such a wonderful class and all devotee association. Dandavat pranams.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so she's saying thank you.
Crystal clear, Mataji. Crystal clear.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So I've just repeated.
Mataji, there are some questions. Rakesh, can we ask some?
Hare
Rakesh
Krishna
Prabhu?
Mataji.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji. Am I audible, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Mataji, thanks for the wonderful class, Mataji. And what I like is your enthusiasm, Mataji. Most that is what I mean. If by mercy, like by devotee's mercy, if I can get at least part of the enthusiasm what you have, then I will feel like my life is also successful. Mataji, my question is with related to, like you have mentioned, like if there are there are demons who won't be having like qualities of the devotees. They are not devotee at all. But we have seen in the scriptures like there are demons as well and who are devotees as well, like Chandraketu Maharaj, who
Yeah.
was.
So they are not demons. They may be born. Like Prahlad Maharaj is not a demon, right? He was born in the demonic family, right? But he was embodiment of divine qualities. That's what we heard today, right? Prahlad Maharaj was a demon, right? If you see by his birth, he was the son of Hiranyakashipu, was born in the demoniac line, right? Coming in the line of Diti, right? But he was an embodiment. So janma karma cha me divyam evam yobeti tatvatah. Sorry, not that one. What is that? Chaturvarnya maya shrishtam gunakarma vibhagasha, right? So it is not by birth, but it is by our guna and karma that we will be determined whether we are divine or demonic, right? It is by our guna and our karma and our actions. Okay, Prabhu?
Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
I hope that answers your question. Hare
Yes, yes, ma'am. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Praladananda Prabhu. Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat pranam, Mataji. Very nice class. As you have explained, all bhakti yoga process or any yoga process, the first element is to control the mind. Sri Prabhupada also mentions that very clearly, that we need to control the mind. And for that, it's very difficult, as Arjun also endorses. But what I do, I just want to share this reflection, is that, I schedule my mind, right? From the moment I wake up, 3 a.m. in the morning, I've scheduled what to do for next half an hour, 1 hour, all the activities which I have scheduled, that I have to speak this many slokas, I have to remember this. Despite that, my mind also wavers like that. But it is easier to bring it back like that. And Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj says that beat the mind with shoes as it goes to other places like that. So I'm just saying that, it is by scheduling the mind, I'll be able to control little, not 100%, but little, and Bhagavan Krishna, Prabhupada helps like that. So this is little reflection I wanted to add. Thank you very much, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. The more we struggle, the more Krishna will give us mercy. The more we struggle and then we endeavor in spite of all odds, right? Krishna is Bhava Grahi Janardana. Krishna sees, oh, you're so sincere, and then Krishna will give us the strength to follow through our determination and endeavor. Yeah, very nice, Prabhu. Thank you, Shai. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Sindhu Mataji.
Sindhu Mataji, yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much for a
Hare
wonderful
Krishna.
class. I just have a comment about your class. It's like a thunderbolt, right? It is at a very high speed, very powerful in a very short time. There are no questions because we are still digesting what you said, right? It is going to hit us after you leave the class. So very powerful class. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. So if you have any queries, you may ask Shamagori Mataji. If possible, then I will reply back to her. If you have any queries, upon digesting the session. But today's session, as far as I see, is more in terms of bringing about the transformation in our life. Right? Otherwise, we've all studied Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, but the problem comes in implementing it. And the problem is because of our conditioning. So how much more we are able to come out of the conditioning of the mind and use our spiritual intelligence that we've acquired because of hearing from a bona fide spiritual masters, by reading Prabhupada's books. All of that we need to percolate it into our personal life. That is the challenge. That is the greatest challenge. Yeah. And the more we pray to the Lord, the more we serve, satisfy, and please our gurus. I've realized that it becomes easier. It becomes easier with the blessings of the Vaishnavas. It becomes easier with the blessings of our gurus. more than our endeavor. When they see our endeavor and they bless us, then the advancement is faster. So that's what we need to do. We need to please our superiors. Hare Krishna.
For this very, very
Yeah, I think we have 3 more minutes. I have see 2 hands up. Hemi Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Beautiful, beautiful class. My question is that, we just discussed that a devotee sees the hand of the Lord in everything and, tolerates all suffering. But, we're in this body. Are we, so if we are feeling pain from our suffering, are we not supposed to feel any pain because we're supposed to tolerate, or we will feel the pain and slowly, with greater realization, we'll stop feeling that pain?
Yeah, so as of now, I can say that I am feeling all the pain. So it is said that pain is inevitable, right? Because when we get a material body, like you said, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. Suffering is optional. When we see, even today, when we see His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, right, bound to a wheelchair for how many years, and yet not a day passes when he does not preach. Even when he goes to the hospital for checkup, right, he is more concerned. He is more concerned about whether the doctor or the nurse is chanting Hare Krishna than whether he is getting the right medicines from that particular doctor or the nurse. Right. So suffering is optional. Pain is inevitable. Right. When you have this material body, pain will be there. But how much we are able to transcend depends upon our surrender to Guru and Gauranga. Avashya Rakshive Krishna. Like we also spoke about that verse. When we actually believe and understand the real purport of that verse, that I am actually supposed to suffer much, much more, but my suffering is just a token of what I should be undergoing, then automatically gratitude will come. But what do we think? Oh, I am chanting 16 rounds, I am practicing devotional service. Why is Krishna giving me, right, this problem? Right? When we have a complaining mentality, we can never be grateful. A grateful heart will never complain, whatever be the situation. A grateful heart is always grateful, because whatever situation I am placed in, it is by the mercy of the Lord. Otherwise, things could have been much worse. Right? That is the attitude of a devotee that we need to cultivate. And then gratefulness will come, suffering will go away, all that will come as a byproducts. Okay, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. Next, I request
Hare Krishna. Maybe last question. Ishopanishad. Shri
Jai.
Ishopanishad.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so very much. Hari Hari Bol. My takeaway is you had spoke on the demonic qualities that hinder devotional service. And the ones that I have written down seem to all be similar, and they are pride, arrogance, ignorance, jealousy, enviousness, greed. Of all of those, they seem to be very similar, but there are 6 main qualities. Could you repeat those again?
Okay, so the 6 demonic qualities that we were talking about is in verse 16.4. You can refer to Bhagavad Gita, Mataji. 16.4. Dambo darpo abhimanascha krodha parushymevacha ajnanam chabijatasya partha sampadam asurim. It's talking about damba, pride, darpa, arrogance, abhimana, conceit, krodha, anger, parushyam, harshness, ajnanam, ignorance, and what is that? Parushyam, this is harshness. 6 qualities. Pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. Is it okay?
Jai Hare Krishna. Thank you so very much.
Thank you very much. So we will end here. Vanchakalpasarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vaishnavavrinda ki jai. Jagat Srila Prabhupada jai. Grantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Thank you so much,
All
Mataji.
assembled devotees, Hare Krishna.
So beautiful.
Assembled devotees, Hare Krishna.
Always.
Wonderful class.
Shama Gauri Mataji. Very, very, very happy belated Krishna conscious birthday. Lot of blessings and wishes.
Thank you.
Prayers for you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
बोल माता जी, जय जय
Thank
श्री
you,
राधे
my
श्याम।
God, for your association in the
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा,
राधे राधे
Radhe Radhe
जय जय श्री राधे
Gauranga.
श्याम। सबको मिले वृंदावन धाम।
वृंदावन
थैंक यू
Hare
श्यामा गौरी माता जी।
Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare
हरे
Krishna.
कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
Hari bol. Thank
राधे
you.
राधे
I
हरे
am going to
कृष्णा
Vrindavan. I'll pray for all of you. I'm going to Vrindavan
हरि
next week.
बोल
Hari Bol.
Prabhu, I'll
Thank
be
you,
there
Vinita
too.
Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, I'm praying for all of you. All my
Prabhu, I'll also
our
be
bhakt-
going. Let me know when
Oh,
you start.
I'm 4th to 10th.
हरि
10
Oh, okay.
बोल
days.
I'm going on the 5th. I'll be there on the 5th.
Oh, then I'll give my number. Take my number for Mataji. Padmini
Yes.
Mataji is coming. Full 50 people are
Sure.
coming.
Hari.
Thank you.
Okay. Sure. Hari
Hare
Bol. Hari.
Krishna. Hare Krishna.
हरि बोल
Thank you,
राधे
Vinita
राधे
Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
राधे राधे
Lalita Mataji and Dinabandhu Prabhu. Radhe Radhe. Shyam Ku.
राधे राधे
Radhe. Radhe Radhe.
Gauranga. Nityananda.
Nityananda.
Nityananda. Gauranga.
हरे हरे
Gauranga.
हरि
Nityananda.
हरि
जय जय श्री
हरे
राधे
Shri
श्याम।
Radhe.
राधे राधे
सबको मिले वृंदावन धाम। गोवर्धन गिरिलाल की जय हो।
जय
थैंक यू।
Jai Jai
राधे राधे।
Jai.
थैंक यू।
Radhe Radhe. Ending the